It's a global pandemic. That both creates and adds to poverty. Its stigma alone can be deadly. In the midst of HIV and AIDS destruction, countless agencies, organizations, and individuals labor to loosen the disease's grip on communities across the world. As an institution, the Catholic Church is one of the largest and arguably one of the most effective organizations in the struggle. It cares for 1 in 4 people living with HIV around the world. Yet much of its work is unknown and often misunderstood. What makes the Catholic Church so uniquely suited to respond to what many consider the public health challenge of our time? This is the 4th segment in a series about the Catholic Church and its response to the pandemic. Here, we take a closer look at the Church's approach to HIV prevention.
There are currently only nearly 2 million people that are on treatment in the world, but there are 6 million people in need of treatment. For every 2 people that go on treatment, there are 5 other people who become infected. So we're not going to treat our way out of this disease.
With no cure in sight, the Church focuses on prevention to halt the spread of HIV. The Church emphasizes faithfulness in marriage and abstinence from sex outside marriage. It also promotes counseling and testing, treatment of sexually transmitted infections, and precautions that promote blood safety and limit blood-borne infections. Because it does not advocate the use of condoms as protection from HIV, the Church continues to face criticism, which often obscures its other efforts to address HIV and AIDS.
I think that the Catholic Church has a unique role to play in accelerating our HIV prevention efforts, whether it is thinking about your global reach. As a church, the Catholic Church has a presence all over the world and therefore has an ability to touch the lives of so many people, both people who are affected by this disease, people who may be at risk of acquiring the disease, or people who need to know about this disease.
The messages of abstinence and be faithful or monogamy are important messages of the Church. And the Church feels like this is enough because they are the only two 100% effective means of prevention. Given appropriate education, encouragement, the knowledge, the facts, young people can make decisions to be abstinent until they're married. Married people can make the decision to be faithful to their spouse. And the Church then is prepared to stand beside them as they make those decisions.
Research is increasingly showing that the Church's teachings on fundamental behavior change are integral to any credible prevention effort, whether faith-based or secular.
In those countries where the HIV prevalence rate has been decreased, and sometimes quite dramatically, countries like Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, and Thailand, in all of those countries, when studies have been done about what people have done to decrease their risk of new infections through HIV, it was found that more people had adopted behaviors of reducing the number of sexual partners that they have and of delaying the onset of sexual activity. Now, those behaviors are much closer to the Church's teaching of abstinence outside of marriage and fidelity within marriage, and fewer people were open to adopting condom use. So that's evidence-based from the scientific community that much more progress has been made, and people seem to be more open to making those deeper commitments in long-term behavior change than adopting a short-term behavior change of using condoms.
As its prevention efforts attempt to slow the spread of HIV, the Church is ramping up the delivery of life-saving antiretroviral therapy to those most in need.
They are ARVs, and we are returning to life. And the hope and the confidence has been given back to us.
In the next segment, the Catholic Church's healthcare infrastructure takes on the challenge of delivering antiretrovirals to even the most remote areas of the developing world. To learn more about HIV and AIDS and how you can respond, visit crs.org/World AIDS Day.